we are going to do our best yet again to kind of talk about all of the latest gossip from Love Island. I know I follow your Twitter, Shaughna, and last night you've got lots of thoughts, as do I. So it's been a week, hasn't it?
The last 2 episodes, like I think we spoke about this before as well, about movie night was definitely going to happen. And we know it's going to be like a hard watch. But do you know what? The reactions from the boys were actually harder than the clips that were shown. Like, I was flabbergasted. I didn't manage to watch it while it was on yesterday. I watched it like an hour after. And just even by like people's tweets, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be like a roller coaster of emotions. But it weren't even like enjoyable viewing. It just made me angry.
Yeah, it was tough because, I think you've hit the nail on the head there when you say it wasn't actually watching back the clips, like watching the 3-way kiss, watching Andrew in bed with Coco. That wasn't bad as the sort of what kind of erupted. And the reaction from the boys, I mean, it sounds like it was unexpected for you. I was shocked.
Yeah, I mean, I know sometimes I suppose the best defense is offense, and I suppose you can kind of understand that you just want to distract, but there was no remorse. There was like, I am actually for one of the very first times speechless, and I wish some of the girls at the time, obviously again we don't know everything that happened, there could have been things that was cut out, but I wish some of the girls were like, hold on a second, you're bordering disrespectful, you all need to pipe down. And I wish that had happened. They were saying a few things between each other. I noticed the comment from Paige, which I was just like, yes, Paige, I wanted her to say it louder. Say it louder.
Yeah, it feels like this year there's always like a bit of a gender divide. They do a lot of tasks that are based around this. Obviously, Casa and Moore, you have the boys and the girls. But this year it feels a lot stronger, I think. They're much more sort of teams in a way, the boys especially.
Yeah, it was really strange. And I am still flabbergasted by why there is such resentment and anger towards Tasha. I still don't get it. I get that she was coupled up with Andrew and also explored other options. Is that not what you're supposed to do? Like, I'm just so confused. I feel like it's very obvious what Luca's doing. He's trying to cause problems with all of the other couples to kind of clear a path maybe for himself. But he had a bad episode yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned there as well the Tasha thing. Because I feel the same as you. We have like the same thoughts on all of it. I like Tasha. I think she's been given a really hard time. And as you say, it's a hard time for stuff that the boys have done so much worse. Andrew has been awful. But yeah, last night we had that bit, didn't we? And Luca just kept saying, Tasha who, Tasha who.
Oh, I wanted her to get up and literally say to him, say it one more time, you're going in the pool. Because he goes unchallenged, and I think that's why he acts the way he does. And like kind of the only time that he was challenged by Dami, for a split second he had the hump, and then when he realised that all of the boys, including Jax, who was one of his best friends in there, was like, we kind of all see where Dami's coming from, he backed down instantly. And that's just typical. I'm not going to accuse him of being a bully. I think a bully is a very strong word. But that is how some people operate, that when they do go unchallenged, the behaviour not only continues, but it escalates. And I think that's what we've seen here. And I think he needs to be told, like, check yourself, because I'm not taking this behaviour. And to be fair, Tasha does stick up for herself quite a lot. But I also... like, Andrew should have been like, that's actually my girlfriend now, so you need to relax with the Tasha who.
Yeah, it was bad. And I thought it was quite interesting when you got glimpses of Gemma, because we've talked about this before, but Gemma has, she came in, she was 19, there was lots to talk about her age. Is she too young for Love Island? Yeah. She is so wise. She seems so smart. She's really got her head screwed on. And I wonder, I think we might get to see it in the coming sort of episodes, how she felt, because she's smart, she sees it, and she clocked what Luca was doing, and I don't think she liked it.
Gemma's actually with my management, and I've already messaged my management and said, please get her a motivational speaking career, because I will have front row seats to it every time. Like, she's so wise beyond her years. She did get a little bit of not a bad rap, but I think all of us probably judged her a little bit too soon, probably just from age, one of her in her first weeks. And now every time, like, I literally WWJD, what would Gemma do? Because she's the voice of reason. Even yesterday, she could have been riled up because of the way Luca was treating her, but instead she was like, I know there is nothing here. He's acting like a child. She still didn't even rise then. I would have rose like a plume of smoke. But Gemma, that she is so unbothered, and I don't quite think Luca knows how to navigate it.
Yeah, it's like she's just letting him like dig his hole bigger and bigger, I feel, because the more chilled she is, as you say, he doesn't know what to do. And it seems like yesterday's episode, at least, everything he did, it just made it worse. His reactions, he was saying things like, oh, get me another bombshell in here. Like, it was so ridiculous.
Get me a bird. We could bring a plethora of birds in, and the way you've done yourself, I don't think Annie's going to be interested. So I just, and this is also another thing I really do want to point out. I've been seeing that quite a few of them, Jax, Luca and whatnot, have been getting death threats and stuff like that. Now, let's be very real here. There is only a select few of people that deserve death threats. Certain Russian presidents, maybe, you know, that kind of effort of people. Unless we're going to compare Luca to said presidents, which we're not going to, death threats do not need to be dished out. And I don't think these kind of comments come from Love Island fans. I think they come from people that jump on the bandwagon and know that there is such a kind of aura around Love Island that it's going to get picked up. I don't even think they realise what their words mean. So, but there is a very real difference between death threats and just voicing your opinion on things behaviour that we're seeing. And I think we need to bear in mind as well that if we didn't call out certain behaviour, how would other family members feel? So Tasha, for example, how would her family feel if we saw how she's being treated and just no one said anything about it? So we can all have our opinions. We need to remember that it's a TV show. It's 40 minutes out of 24 hours. There are people behind these screens, but still, bad behaviour is bad behaviour.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things I love about Love Island, especially as it's got more popular over the years, is that people start having these conversations about this sort of behaviour that you might just have never had. And I think especially if you're a sort of young woman and you're navigating these relationships, actually it can be quite useful to see it on telly and go, hold on a second.
100%. We are all guilty of treating our friends and holding our friends to a different standard that we hold ourselves to. And when we see our friends accepting certain behaviour in relationships, we're like, what the hell, cut it out now. But we sometimes accept it ourselves. So I think being able to watch it, I think that definitely does open our eyes. And also there are a lot of young people watching this, both boys and girls. And I think it's almost like the new year birds and bees. Because we don't need to just talk about birds and bees anymore. We need to talk about respect, how to treat one another, what is acceptable, what isn't acceptable. And Love Island it's a great educational tool.
It honestly, really, it genuinely is. A sentence I never thought I'd agree with, but 100%. And well, we go from one man's bad behaviour to another, because that's all that we kind of have from this week, to be honest. So let's have a chat about India and Dami. Obviously, we saw his three-way kiss was kind of exposed. We had another like set of sniping from the two of them, but then by the time the episode ended, she was back laying in his arms on the daybed.
Yeah.
What do make of this whole situation and her reaction?
It's messy. And although she was kind of laying in his arms, she did say, we're not friends.
Yeah.
I think India is aware that although I don't think there is any reconciliation on the cards for Summer and Danny, I think she's aware that there is also someone else in there that he was coupled up with at one point. So I think she's maybe playing her cards close to her chest and not making any kind of rash decisions, whilst also keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. And I think that's what she's doing. You can almost see her brain ticking over and she's thinking about it. And a part of me, when he was saying to Summer yesterday, shut up, I wanted India to be like, who are you speaking to? But I mean, would we do that if there was a girl that went behind our back with our boyfriend or whatever? We probably wouldn't. But I definitely think that India's taking it all in. She's a clever girl. And I think, and also there was a comment the other day that Danny said something like, well, can I argue back with your sister?
Yes.
If you want to risk your life, maybe. But I think it's like an unwritten rule that you don't argue with your girlfriend's sister. Especially when they're from South London. You don't do that. So, and that was also a thing. I think she's got a mental note and I think she's making adjustments accordingly.
Because India's really smart, isn't she? She's really headstrong. She came into the village, she knew exactly what she wanted. And I think I found her one of the hardest to work out because everything I thought I knew about her, the whole Danny situation is just thrown on its head. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. So I do hope you're right. I hope she is like keeping a mental log of just these things.
100%. And also, let's not forget again, Deji's in there. Although he was almost like the kind of star of the show when it was movie night because his faces, they were perfect. And there was nothing, obviously he's not really done much in there in order to appear in movie night, but I feel like he's waiting in the wings and he was saved as well. So I don't think that would have gone unnoticed.
It's a really weird time, isn't it, for him and Summer because they're there, they're not with anyone. You're not part of the original group, so you must feel a bit left out. But it must just, I don't know, what do you do? Do you just kind of wait for your time to be up or I guess for a bombshell? I don't know.
I think a little bit of both. I don't know how many more people are going to be going in there at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, you are on a little bit of a holiday, especially when you're not in a couple. You're basically out of all the drama. There is no drama for you to be involved in unless something like that happens. So yeah, I would just chill out. There's not many couples in there that you need to break up. I feel like if any are going to break up, they're going to break up on themselves. You don't actually need to do anything. You can just sit back and relax. So I think they're going to just kind of ride it out a little bit.
Just see how it goes.
Yeah, why not? You're in Mallorca.
It's lovely. Have a nice time. Who have I got next on the list? Okay, Tasha and Andrew. Now, going into movie night, you could have thought, oh my God, it will be carnage for the two of them. They're going to be at each other's throats after. But actually, they kind of laughed it off and were fine.
Yeah, which I suppose Andrew actually didn't have a choice because, and this was the other thing, he said to the boys, like, what can I say? Like, what I done was a lot worse. And then even then, Luke was like, no, mate, no, what she done was worse. And I'm like, even if you think what she's done's worse, why would you say that to your friend? Like, I'm in shock. So, they are a strange couple. They are now official, they're boyfriend and girlfriend. But from the beginning of the episode, it's like there is a problem, they solve it, they get back together, they have an argument. Like, I just don't know what's happening with them two. I don't think they know what's happening with them two.
Yeah. And also, we're at a strange point in the series, aren't we? We've got maybe like 2 weeks left. I think the finals, like, we've done movie night. Movie night is the big challenge. The other stuff coming up is, there isn't really an obvious huge thing. When they're not doing the tweets anymore, you know, the baby episode is a really funny one, but it's not a proper challenge. At this point, like, could they go the distance? Are they going to just do this? Like,
well, I mean, I suppose typically there isn't normally anything else really that is a pivotal moment. However, I feel like these couples have given the producers like so much food for thought that like there is enough carnage there to create something. So, and I mean, like, although we don't think there's anything left, we would never have said that Adam was going to be going in. So there could be something. And also I've noticed, I don't know if it's just me, but there seems to be a lot less challenges this year. So whether or not that's because it's going to be in replace of something else, I don't know. But there is definitely still stuff there that could be volatile.
Yeah, because, well, you'll know this, but when you do the challenges, you don't normally do one every single day, do you? But there are definitely a lot less.
Yeah, I feel like we used to do them once a week.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely felt like that anyway. We looked forward to it because it was something different to do. But I mean, yeah, there's literally been maybe 3 or 4, which is just strange.
Yeah. And the horrible food one that everyone hates watching, but that they love bringing back, that was done really, really early on as well. I was quite surprised. I think we did it on like week 2.
Yeah, so no, there's definitely still, I feel like the producers know this has been such a good series. They're not going to let this just fizzle out.
No, it has. I think it has definitely been one of the best Love Islands in recent years. Do you agree?
Yeah, 100%. And although a lot of people say, oh, they're very aware of the cameras now and X, Y, Z, and it's no shade on them. It would be completely difficult to not be aware of the cameras and then what could come after it. But I feel like before, there's been a bit, it's like it's been unspoken within the villa, and it's almost been like people have almost self-edit themselves so much because they're aware. Whereas this lot, I feel like they've not done that. So yes, they might be aware. Yes, they don't care that they're boyfriend and girlfriend one day and talking to someone else the other. It's kind of just been a perfect combination.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's just really ready for it this year as well. I don't know if last pandemic, I know the pandemic has not gone away, but it was, much more prevalent, and people, I couldn't go on a holiday, most viewers couldn't, whereas this year it just seems like this summer, maybe because it's really hot here as well, everyone has just been so ready for Love Island.
Yeah, and maybe, I don't know whether, I definitely think the fact that the public chose the couples to begin with, that definitely played a part in it, because we was kind of guaranteed drama from day one. And also maybe it was the fact that it's a new villa. So, I mean, there's new places to go. It's prettier to look at. Whether or not that played a part in it, I don't know, but hopefully it was a good omen.
Definitely. And you mentioned there as well the decision at the start, and I think at the time I thought it was a bad idea. I was like, why have we matched them up? This is supposed to be, they see who fancies who. But like you say, looking back, I think that actually has changed the whole series.
It has, and it's made everyone kind of an open book, which I love. And thinking about it though, although I suppose Tasha and Andrew have kind of worked their way around the villa, they are the only original couple still together, which is so strange. I definitely think that is something that needs to be continued. I really hope so.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. To circle back a little bit to Gemma and Luca, obviously Billy's kind of main thing in movie night was his role in all of that. What do you think of how he's behaved with Gemma? Has he been completely fair? Do you think his flirting was a bit much?
No, absolutely. He said it yesterday, like, that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to go in there, and he's also not in a couple. So unless he's supposed to wait by the door with his suitcase packed, ready to be voted out, he needs to crack on. And I don't know why Luca is so threatened by it. I get that I mean, you must take it a little bit personally. I get that. I think I definitely took it personally when I was in there. However, you have to understand that if your person is going to be stolen, they was there to be stolen to begin with. Like, they don't get stolen against their will. So you've kind of got to look at it as like, well, you've kind of taken the problem off my hands. And I don't think Gemma was entertaining it at all. Like, no. Unless you wanted her to be like, step back, don't speak to me, no one is allowed to speak to me. I don't know how else you wanted her to handle that situation.
And I think, Gemma, stepped back from it really well. She wasn't involved at all. But from Billy's perspective, maybe looking at it in kind of a more of a gameplay sense, it is a game show after all. That rift is there now between Gemma and Luca. Like, if he was hoping to stir up any trouble, there was any chance that she might kind of, you know, be done with Luca. That is now like very much a possibility. So it's kind of worked.
Yeah, completely. And I feel like for Gemma, it's a bit difficult because at this point, if you now break up, I mean, what do you do? Like, where do you go? So whether or not she does that, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't hold it against her either or. But there is kind of behaviour that she is 100% picking up on. And when Gemma leaves the villa, as well as all of them, they're going to need to be friendly to people. They're going to need to be open and speak to the public and all of this kind of thing. Is he going to do that with every boy that she speaks to?
God, who knows? We have got some questions that have come in on the comments. Oh, I love this one. How do you think Jax is feeling now watching Paige and Adam? Obviously, the last we saw of him, I know, was on After Sun last night. But, you know, he was swearing to Paige that he would be there, he would be waiting for her. She's now forgotten about him a bit, I guess, you know?
Yeah, and I think, I mean, they couldn't really show anything with Jax on the movie night because what was the point? But yeah, they did show the little bit where he said, oh, if you're kissing under the covers tonight, then so am I. So to me, that gives Paige a complete open door to do whatever she wants. And he might still be there waiting for her. But the thing is, when you do leave, you're so busy, you've got so much to do that he probably hasn't even like chilled out yet. I doubt he's watching it. It's very weird watching it once you've left. So when you get out, you do start thinking, oh my gosh, that was not real life. So whether or not he's waiting, I don't know, but I'm sure they'll both be happy in whatever they do.
Did you watch much of yours back when you left?
I watched brief bits. I watched like the Casa Amor recoupling and stuff like that. I watched all of the unseen episodes because that was just kind of us being normal. So I loved that, but not really, to be fair. I watched the odd bit, but it's weird because also you've got to remember you've lived it. You know what happens and you've been in that situation. So it's like someone saying like, would you watch back last Sunday? Probably.
I think I'd give it a miss. And another question that's come in about our problematic fave. Do you think Ekin Su is telling the truth about what happened in Casa Amor?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen like the duvet situation and whatnot, and whether or not anything happened, from looking at what happened on the night cam, I couldn't really see anything. And you can normally tell, and it's so awkward, you can normally tell exactly what is happening under the covers. And I couldn't. But then again, she also said, like, don't tell the boys. So I think the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And I mean, to each their own, like, so.
And what do you think, her and Davide, I can't get my head around them either. One minute it's on, 1 minute it's off, then someone's shouting and she's a liar, and then they're back together.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen with them?
I am definitely them for the win still. They could potentially not even be speaking during the final. That is a very real possibility. But I mean, I love them for it. They're funny. I feel like they don't take each other too seriously. And I think they also know they're playing a game, and I don't care. I'm so here for it.
Yeah, I think they both know that they're bringing the drama. I don't think maybe they know. I don't think Davide knows how funny he is sometimes. No. But yeah, You're right. They are playing a game, but I just love to see it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and they could pretend that they are absolutely in love with each other and it's fine that you've done that, it's so okay, and we would all see through it. But they're not. They don't care that they could argue and break up one day and be back together the next day. And that's what I like to see.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I do. I want to see them in the final. And I feel the same as you. I wouldn't even care if they were talking or not. Like, just get them.
Yeah, there's a very real chance that one of them could steal the money.
That is honestly, I've been trying to manifest this for weeks. Like
Yeah,
no one steals money. The ending is broken. Like it needs to be different. But this year, who knows?
yeah, it could definitely happen, and I love it, and I love them for it.
Oh, another question that's come in. Who do you think could actually go the distance out of the couples we've got?
So Davide and Ekin-Su, I think Tasha and Andrew, and when you say distance, you mean to the final?
Let us do to the final, but then also, who is there anyone you could see lasting? Like,
None.
yeah, no.
Absolutely not one single one of them, which is wild, but no.
Which is wild and why it's been such brilliant television.
Exactly. So again, I'm okay with it. I'm okay if they break up a week later. That's so okay.
No, oh my goodness, every single week this goes so quickly. So we are very nearly out of time. I know we'll have to, next year, Shaughna, we'll do it for an hour. Before we do finish though, who has been your favourite Islander from the past week and why?
Gemma's up there, 100%. I mean, she says little but does a lot, and that is what we need from her. She is the voice of reason for absolutely everyone. So Gemma is a big contender, and I mean, yet again, Davide and Ekin-Su. It's just they are. I mean, I think it was this week that we had Faker then the Louis Vuitton from China.
Oh my god! Like this is when it's been such a dramatic week that we haven't even mentioned that brilliant one-liner.
Incredible. That's probably taken over. You are a liar. You are an actress. It was just iconic. So definitely Davide, Ekin-Su, and then Queen Gemma.
I love it. I love it. So sadly, that is all we've got time for. But I will be back next week with Shaughna, same time, same place, 12 o'clock, to chat about all the latest gossip. Who knows what will happen then? And Shaughna also has an OK column, which comes out every Friday. So you can read that on the website and get all of her thoughts then. Shaughna, I'll see you next week.
Yes, can't wait.
Amazing. Speak then. Bye.
Bye.